we move to chapter 13, that is information technology in corporate communication. With this, we understand four major parameters or four major concepts. The first is e-media relations. What is e-media relations? Any kind of broadcasting services or storage of these media in certain places falls under the purview of e-media relations. So broadcasting it using internet, using the satellite connections, using television, using radio, dissemination of information can be a part and parcel of e-media relations. At the same point in time, using devices like CD-ROM, pen drive, hard drive, your faxes where you send across messages. Initially, the floppy drive areas were nothing but e-media relations. So you are disseminating information or you are saving it for future references in a certain safe, secured software or electronic device is the whole concept of e-media relations. So that's a very small concept. Then we move across to e-internal communication. The second concept under information technology. What is e-internal communication? You'll remember we had done the chapter of employee communication, how and why it is important for managers, for topmost organizations to let their employees know as to what's happening within an organization. At the same point in time, make them aware if there is any new product or service that's launched in, aware them or let them know if there is any opening within the organization where they can apply and get in the right kind of recruitment for their particular upcoming positions or for promotions, right? So that is the whole concept of e-internal communication. How or what mechanisms you are using to communicate with your employees internally using any of the electronic devices. So that could probably have the internal email facilities that these organizations have, or spreading, having their own specialized app versions. Okay, most organizations now have their own apps that the employees of that respective organization are supposed to download and keep referring to. So notices, announcements, certain changes in the policies are reflected on this. Along with it, they also have their own websites or their own employee portals where leaves can be marked or leaves can be asked for. Any other issues related to employee grievances can be taken care on these portals. So using these electronic services, how the employer connects with his employee is a whole concept of e-internal communication. With that, we move to a very small concept but a very important concept, which is known as e-bomb. Now what is e-bomb? Is electronic word of mouth, and that's where the blogs come into picture. The utmost important and the latest development with regards to what's happening around us. Using electronic word of mouth, people are able to share what they feel. We can say that reviews that happen on Amazon are nothing but e-bombs. They are electronic word of mouth. As soon as you want to buy a product, what normally people do? They go in and search what people have written for it. Okay, or you want to be associated with an organization, you start reading on consumer legal forums. Is what is written about that organization? How is there any claims that past employees have made with regards to that particular organization? So that's the whole concept of e-bomb. So three concepts which are most simple and easy to understand. E-media relations, that's the broadcasting and storage devices. Second was e-internal communication, where how you're connecting with your employees using electronic devices. Third, e-word of mouth or e-bomb, as we can say, how you are spreading a positive or a negative word of mouth using these electronic devices, using these electronic softwares, or using the online platforms, so that the customers may be interested or may not be interested. And we come to the fourth and an important point from the point of view of communication technology is e-brand identity and corporate reputation. In the initial chapters, we had understood what identity and reputation is all about. Just quickly going through it, identity is how the customers perceive your product. When they close their eyes and think of color red and a mobile subscribe provider, is Vodafone what's reflected to them? or Airtel that's reflected in their head is the identity that you've created in the mindsets of your customers. And reputation is by and large how you've perceived to the largest set of your stake audiences, how you will be in the future. Depending on your past actions, what your future actions or future reputation will be is the concept of corporate reputation. Now, apparently speaking, there are 6 small steps that people do when they think of corporate e-identity or when they think of corporate identity. What happens in corporate e-identity is, first, there is identifying certain need. So say for example, I am currently I have troubles with my phone. So I have identified that I need a phone. Now, if I am a teacher, if I am supposed to deliver lectures or record my sessions, will a phone with medium storage space, with medium camera features work well for me? No, I will have to identify my need is that I need a high-end phone that has enough space capacity. At the same point in time, the video quality will also be good and I'll be able to record my sessions accordingly. So what will my next step be? First, I've identified my need. What will the next step be? It will be searching for information. What I'll do in under searching for information, I will go across online and I will write phones and then I'll also decide upon my budget. So I'll write phones worth X the amount with great configurations of camera and good storage capacity. And what will then be in front of me? A list of phones that claim that they have good storage capacity, or probably that's their feature, their specification, their great camera content. And at the same point in time, I will also get a lot of feedbacks from people who have used these phones. So what I've done in the second step, I have gone online and I've started searching what are information I have available. Then I narrow down my search to 2 or 3 phones that are in the same range, probably. At the same point in time, they have more or less the same specifications in terms of its storage and in terms of its camera. So I have now to assess from the alternatives that I have. A, B, C. That is the third step that I will do. Third is I finally make a decision based on the reviews that I read that okay, I'm going to go with product B. Product B satisfies or serves the need of me, my phone feature, my camera feature, my space capacity. At the same point in time, it fits my budget perfectly. So I have decided to buy the product. Third, the next step will be I have finally made a purchase of it. Now, from the point of view of assessing the alternatives, I may, in this particular example of me to select a phone, I may refer to Amazon also, I may refer to Flipkart also, I may also see what Snapdeal has to offer me. At the same point in time, if I have the access to physically visit a outlet, I may also go out and check the phone physically. But in this situation where things are ordered online because they have the facility to return back the product or replace the product if it's damaged, people normally see what option is best available online and they select the phone online. So in this category, I can also select an alternative that I want to place my order with Amazon or I want to place my order with Flipkart. So after I've selected the brand, after I've selected which mode through which I'm going to buy my product, whether it's Amazon or Flipkart, I buy the product. The fifth stage, after I buy the product, after the product is delivered to me, the sixth step will be where I assess or whether I see that the product has really satisfied the considerations that I had wanted it to. In terms of its features of storage and camera, is it really doing the same work that was read by me when I was doing a lot of information for it? So corporate e-identity and its reputation depends on how you have built your brand on these social media platforms. That when somebody writes something on Google or Yahoo, your product or your image, your services are the first to be reflected and the customer will go and read about it in detail. So that's the whole concept of corporate identity and corporate reputation. With this, we complete chapter 13 and we move to the last chapter of corporate communication, where we'll understand all about blogs and blogging.